this build and every other fucking Destiny build and every other bullshit that fucking crops up and all the other nonsense. Okay, it's all the same shit, just over and over again. You watch some YouTuber on Destiny, they act it like they're, you know, oh, I got 1,000 subscribers and whatever, and fucking, you know, end all be all, you know, this build is super powerful and you're gonna be unstoppable and I'm blah 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 blah. Like, shut the fuck up. It's just all. Alright. The Solar 3.0, I'm actually happy that it's still relevant. I've been using Blade Barrage since whenever Blade Barrage first came out. I don't know if that was Destiny 1 or Destiny 2. I remember when it first came out, the first time I ever fucking touched Blade Barrage, and I used it all the way up until Stasis first appeared. Then I dipped off and stopped playing Destiny for a while. You know, focused on playing Call of Duty and all that other stuff. But the point being is, love Blade Barrage. It's great. It's fantastic. You know, we have a new Blade Barrage, you know, Shards of Galanor build. You're gonna use a bunch of fucking perks with it. You're basically just using this melee over and over again. You get Radiance. You know, you can use, and this is, you know, another example. People act like you have to use Gunpowder Gamble. No, you don't. It's just, it increases your kind of leeway time. It can be nice sometimes. You can use on your mark instead. You just have to move a little quicker. You just have to do everything that you're going to do. You just got to do it a little quicker. So if you can get kills, you know, a little quicker, you're fine. But point being, this build's not invincible. It's not. You're tough, I'll give you that. But, you know, where this build falls apart is if you have an enemy where all they have is a melee attack and, you know, there's a whole swarm and they run up to you and another enemy is shooting you, you're dead. That's where this build falls apart. Because in order for this whole thing to work, you're trying to throw your throwing knives. There's no separate button for punching an enemy that's up close and throwing your throwing knives. So the moment an enemy's in your face constantly and will not get out of your face, you can't throw your throwing knives. The whole build falls apart just on that. If you're dealing with enemies that are only shooting at you, the build is really, really good. I recommend packing Pardon Our Dust, or, you know, if Blinding Nades, Auto-Loading Holster, and Rampage. It's still good to this day. It still does what it's supposed to do, which is get enemies the fuck off of you. A shotgun works. Sweet Business helps with that. You can even get away with using Rat King on this build. Forerunner, you know, that works, but you're just not invincible. Okay? YouTubers act like this is the end all be all. It has the highest DPS, sure, you know. When Blade Barrage first came out, it had the highest DPS for a little while, and it got kind of power crept out, and they, you know, recently reworked Solar. Highest DPS in a short amount of time, sure. Night Stalker, okay, with Morbius Quiver and fucking, where the hell is it? There is an Orpheus Rig. Incredibly powerful. Same thing. Damn near the same idea. If you abusing one small thing to make yourself virtually invincible. In theory. In theory and on paper and according to, you know, whatever YouTubers. You go invisible over and over and over again. You know, the enemy just can't fucking seem to see you. You know, you throw on, I'll give an example here. So, you know, you throw on Graviton Forfeit, and then you have, you know, you can use the Enigma, you can use Tractor Cannon, which Tractor Cannon is good just to use anyways. You can use a whole bunch of shit, okay? There's a sword that has the same kind of effects as your glaive, and also shoots out a little beam of energy and all that. That also works, makes you go invisible forever. You can even use both. You can throw on, if you really just can't seem to give a fuck, you know, you don't even have to have Graviton Lance, by the way. You can have, Orpheus Rig and do the same thing. The only thing is you're trading, invisibility time and a little bit of a safety net, and that's what it is. It's a little bit of a safety net. You're trading that for a higher DPS with your super. You can do either one. You can use Monarch instead, and a decent rocket launcher. Okay, you can use the fucking Graviton Lance. Fighting Lion is not really relevant. I wanted it to be good. I really did. I tried to use Fighting Lance a lot. Because I like these grenade launchers, and I like how you can basically one-hit people or two-tap people. They nerfed the shit out of it. You can't do that anymore. Because I used to blind people, and then I'd one-tap them. I wanted to try to do that with Fighting Lion, but Fighting Lion just does damage. I don't know what happened with that, which is kind of fair, but I mean at the same time too though, grenades are very hard to hit to even begin with, or they were. They're even harder now. But it's just YouTubers bullshit where it's like, oh, this makes you invincible, and it's like, no, it doesn't. Not even remotely invincible. You're gonna run into fucking challenges, okay? They say things like, oh, if you use this or this and that, it's just overreactionary. It gives new players the wrong fucking idea. It's annoying that they do it. Some things can be really good. Gunslinger, Blade Barrage, Middle Tree, I guess you would call it, if we even still use that terminology. There's not really trees in 3.0 anymore. Very powerful. Stasis is, very powerful as well. You can still use stasis and it will still be good. It will still kill a bunch of shit. You still got this little super, you still got your little customization. I guess this is its 2.0 version. I don't know. But you can still use this. You can still go out there. I think you can still go out there and buy all the shit you need. I don't remember if you can. Arc is the only one that got power crept out of the game completely. Hopefully they rework Arc because it needs some help. But I'm not gonna lie, 9 times out of 10 when I get fucking killed by, a roaming super, it's Arc Staff. 9 times out of 10. It's gonna be Arc Staff that fucking kills me. And it's aggravating. And the only, the 10th time it's a roaming super, it's that, what is that one? It's like Void Sorcerer, or whatever the hell you call those guys. Warlock. Yeah. So, I mean, there's things that are powerful about Arc Staff. This overreactionary bullshit of, you're gonna be invincible. Okay, we have 3 subclasses here that are all pretty much on par. You can reasonably use Mobius Quiver and expect to do well. You got people that don't like Mobius Quiver. They like Deadfall. And still, you're going to do well. You can use Spectral Blades. I don't really run into too many people who do use Spectral Blades in PvE. They use them in PvP a lot. I've seen it. And they've done pretty good. They get there in like the middle of the scoreboard, and there's nothing wrong with that. Stasis, I still see a lot of Stasis players. Stasis is still good. If you have it and you're comfortable with it, use it. I'm comfortable with Night Stalker from last season. I really am. Because I'm comfortable with going invisible, throwing on Graviton Lance, or throwing on the fucking, what was the other thing? The Orpheus Rig. I'm comfortable using that. You know, I've been using it for so long and this and that, and I was using Graviton Lance and, you know, Rat King before Void even got reworked. Okay, the glaives got nerfed into the fucking ground. Just don't try to use those in, you know, multiplayer. Try to use them in PvE. Use them in multiplayer, you're gonna find out why they got nerfed in the ground. Unless, of course, they're gonna go ahead and, you know, this got nerfed in the ground too, but it still works. Throwing on stompies, running around with a glaive and hitting 3 melees is faster way to melee somebody to death than pretty much anything else. You know, 2 melees or even a sword melee is still not quicker than a combination of stompies and a glaive. It's, you know, hilarious. But that's a meme build. That's a troll build. That's just me goofing around kind of thing. That's not a good build. Jade Rabbit still kills 3 people, you know, people in 3 headshots. It doesn't need anti-barrier to be good. You know, you can still use that in PvP. Sweet Business doesn't have to be on a Titan. That's not the end-all be-all, but a YouTuber will tell you that is. You know, you can use Sweet Business on anything you fucking want. I use Sweet Business for PvE. I use it in PvP too. You know, I'll sit there and I'll kind of fan the trigger a little bit, get the barrels rotating. Somebody pops around the corner and suddenly they're getting a face full of lead. You know, then they're dead. Or, you know, the other thing I'll do is I'll be using something like this and this, which seems a little silly, but guess what? I don't have to worry about ammo at all. Because I'm using this, I'm sniping people, I'm getting people mid-range, you know, I'm proccing that demolitionist, getting a couple extra grenades, and then suddenly, you know, I realize, oh shit, there's somebody behind me, you know, because I've just been basically running a circle around the edge of the map, you know, for the whole match, and they realize that all they have to do is basically, you know, start at one end and make a fucking beeline for the other end to catch up and shoot me in the back. Suddenly I pull out Sweet Business, turn around, blast them. Forerunner is actually good. If you can land those headshots, you can kill people really fast with this gun. Or, I mean, if you have it in your back pocket, you know, a little wallet in your pocket, you pull it out as a problem solver and you can't land those headshots, but you can land at least 3 shots directly. Still kills people insanely fast. Faster than they're used to. You know, 7 Sephiroth time payload, full auto retrofit. Yeah, that's still the flinch cannon. You know, you want people to flinch in the ground. There's a reason why I have 284 fucking PvP kills on it. I'd probably have more if I didn't goof around with dumb shit. You know, there's things that are kind of dumb that I like to goof around with, like Monarch, for example, has been relevant since never. I can't think of a time that Monarch has been relevant recently. Monarch still kills people in 2 hits. You can build a whole weird class and get a 1-hit kill, but it's not going to do you any justice. You know, Clown Cartridge and Swashbuckler are still good. Okay, this gun, you know, this sword, excuse me, I haven't even fucking used it, but I've seen people use it and it's good. You know, this reactionary nonsense of, oh, this is the most powerful fucking build right now. No, it's not. No, it's not. Go ahead and throw on your Solar 3.0 bullshit. Go into Grasp of Avarice and get shit upon. You know, because you will. You can throw on Void on the other hand, go into Grasp of Avarice and do just fine. But then you're going to get to that Void, you know, that Void Ogre, and he's going to shit all over you. I mean, I guess, if you have your equipment set up and everything, you could run all the way over, get into, you know, your Void 3.0, be invisible on that, and be unstoppable. Turn around and swap on over to your Solar once you get to the Ogre. Kill him, and then go into your race, and then use whichever one you would prefer for the final third part where you're actually fighting the main boss of the level. You will probably actually do really well. You probably maybe even solo Grasp of Avarice. But, you know, either one by itself, not really. So, yeah. I just get kind of sick and fucking tired of watching a video. They hype something up, you know, Titans with their Boyd build, or, you know, Titans with Sweet Business and Akio Morick, or, you know, Solar 3.0, or Stasis was really hyped up before 3.0. You know, Fatebringer with, you know, the Timeless thing. You know, because honestly, your 7 Sephiroth that occasionally appears either at Zur or at, you know, 44 over there, you know, you can just, like, wait every once in a while. They'll have time payload, Ambitious Assassin, or, you know, sometimes you'll get one of these Rampage and time payload. Yeah, those are just as good as Fatebringer. Fatebringer is a lot harder to get. Why? Because, well, you know, Fatebringer, it's more of like the prestige of having to hunt for it. Whereas with the 7 Sephiroth, you literally just walk over to this guy here, Banshee 44, and fucking buy it. I mean, for God's sakes, Banshee's holding the fucking Telesto. We already know that that gun just breaks the game all the time, in some way or another. You know, I also have a different variety of weapons every week. You know, once a week, it's like you can basically have, like, you know, once every week you have, I would say, probably about 30% chance that, you know, Banshee's 44. And that's, you know, that's just him. And then you got Fuckface over, you know, Zur. Squid Face. Okay. And he's usually, oh, hey, look, there's my old message. You know, he's usually gonna be fucking either on Earth, you know, you go to Earth Dead Zone, or he's gonna be on Nessus, one of the two. Take a fucking wild guess. Okay, you know, you're in this area. He's gonna be like, you know, 5 seconds away. You just go over here, climb a fucking tree. The other place he'll end up being is over Winding Cove. You follow along here, and there's a cliff you can climb up onto, and he's right there. Yeah, so, you know, and then him, it's probably about 30% chance he's gonna have it. So it's like, all in all, you probably got overall right around a, you know, 40% chance that one of the two of them will have it, and if they don't, you just wait for the next week. 7 Sephiroth you know, you can actually sometimes land those in Dares of Eternity. You can also land a bottom dollar as well with timed payload, which does essentially the same thing. There's timed payload and there's explosive payload. So either one of those two do pretty much the same thing. Slightly different, you know. One works better at range. The timed payload works a little bit better at range than, you know, far distant range than explosive payload. So timed payload's better in that regard. But most of the time with these, you're using it to pull it out, whip it out real quick, blast somebody with it, and, you know, get them to flinch, get them to miss their shots so you can land a couple more shots and kill them. Even with its heavy nerfs, so you can still literally just walk up to people, you know, you're shooting at them, you hit them once, they're aiming at the fucking sky, can't even hit you. You know, they're frustrated, they're annoyed, they're irritated, because I've been on the receiving end of it, you know, but I've also been one to abuse it. You just hold down the trigger with your full auto retrofit, you know, that thing that you can, pretty much almost everybody has, and if you don't have it yet, you can probably find it pretty easily. You know, you just equip it onto there, hold down the trigger and walk up to people, say hi, act like you're gonna give them a hug with a revolver to the face. You know, Sweet Business kind of does the same thing, except it's multiple hits. You know, you start holding down on your 150 round mag, and you land 20 of those shots, and they're looking at the sky. The fire rate fast enough that they're going to be looking at the sky very quick. You know, or you know, even hitting somebody with one of these fucking grenades, and they're looking at the sky. And then, you know, not only are they looking at the sky, but then they're also blind on top of it. You don't even have to hit them directly. You can hit them, you know, kind of glancing shot and snag them.
Do you have something for me, Guardian?
There's, you know, Banshee 44 sells a good weapon. Dipshit over there, you know, Papa Smurf, as I like to call him, sells a good weapon. You know, Lord Soda over here sells a good weapon every once in a while. Saint, whatever the hell his name over there, sells a good weapon every once in a while. You know, you get things like fucking time payload or other forms of a flinch cannon. Drifter sells a good weapon quite often, actually. I don't really pay him much my time. He has, you know, green camos and everything, but he doesn't have the shade of green that I like. So, you know, but you can buy crap from him. And then there's What's Her Face that's over here, and she sells good weapons every once in a while. In fact, she also sells weapon mods and armor mods. So, you know, all this crap about Fatebringer and needing it, you don't. Not even a little bit. There's other legendaries out there, and you can literally buy them. Fatebringer is, you know, just something to get somebody looking at the sky real quick.
How can I help?
Let's see. Well, she doesn't have any weapons, but she's got armor mods. In fact, actually...
Welcome back.
Let's see. There's one that I never bother using. Ah, yeah, okay, surprise attack. So, you know, this, you pop it on, use a sidearm, like, for example, Rat King. And all you do is you reload, you get your little bonus damage, and that actually does translate to bonus flinch. So, yeah. Full auto Rat King, and any one of those shots has your opponent looking at the sky. And then if you get the kill on top of that, you reload, you turn invisible, and you fight the next guy while you're invisible, while they're having difficulty seeing you.
What's up?
So, you know, let's see. Yeah, see, he's got a bottom dollar right here. And let's see if it says details or not. Sometimes I notice with Drifter too, it's like you buy his shit and it comes with mystery crap, which is okay, because then you just keep buying it over and over again. And, you know, 50 legendary shards and a bunch of glimmer and a gambit engram is not hard to get. You just go and play gambit a couple of times. You don't even have to fucking win, you just have to play it. So, you know, this... You know, and then the other weapons too, it's like, we get it. There's new perks and they're kind of powerful. They add a scorch effect, or, you know, they do suppressing so you can go invisible if you're void, or they have a stasis crystal effect so you can sit there and, you know, proc your abilities so you can use more stasis stuff and slow down more enemies. You know, it's all the same shit. Whether you're trying to add Gunslinger and have a one-shotter, or, you know, you're trying to use Blade Barrage and use your super over and over and over again, or you're just going invisible all the time, or you got, you know, Arc Strider. Well, actually, Arc Strider's into the ground. You got Stasis, you're going and freezing people. It doesn't matter.
No returns.
The only time it matters is when your opponent wasn't using one and you want to use the other. You know, going invisible against your opponent, you know, not really a good idea. But even if they struggle to see you, if they're using solar and you go invisible and they hit you with some fire, yeah, guess what? They see those tick, tick, ticks right above your head. So, you know, they might not see you, but they know exactly where your head is at, and that's just good enough, unless they're a poor shot. You know, stasis, using void and going invincible, you know, against a stasis user. Guess what? They don't need to see you. They'll just freeze you solid, and, you know, they see the crystals around you. So, there's that. As far as in the environment, you know, player versus the environment, you're playing by yourself, use whatever the fuck you want. You don't really have to use anything. If you're playing with a team and it's requiring heavy teamwork, for a particular dungeon, you might want everybody to use all void hunters. Or you might want, you know, 2 solar hunters and a void hunter, or a void hunter, a solar hunter, and a fucking stasis hunter. Or, you know, you might want a fucking titan. You might want this or that. Maybe you have a build that has really good DPS, but it doesn't heal you very well. And so it would be nice if your teammate could make you invisible and himself invisible for a second. Void 3.0 and Solar 3.0, I wouldn't be surprised if people start using them together. Or if they're doing solo for a dungeon that has a variety of challenges, I wouldn't be surprised if people were swapping between the two. It would not be surprising at all. And quite frankly, you know, all these things and all this crap about either one making you invincible is horse shit. Okay, this is Bungie we're talking about. These are the same guys who came up with Halo. Okay? You know, same guys that came up with Halo, you know, they've had to unbalance things. You know, they've experimented, they've played around. They've had to go back and patch things. They had to go back and change things. Okay, they've had years and years of experience of doing that because they go all the way back to, you know, the fucking original Xbox. What are we on? Like Xbox 7 now? PS4? None of this crap is going to be so unbalanced that you can't challenge it with the other crap. That's just not going to happen. You know, like I said, the weakest tree in this game is going to be Arcstrider. You know, but every time I get killed and somebody's just running around whacking people with a magic fucking, you know, weapon that they pulled out of their butthole, you know, that they just pulled out of some fucking portal like they're playing fucking Morrowind, running around whacking people. Okay, every time that happens, guess who it is? Oh, Arcstrider. Well, fuck. That's why when I finally decided to goof around with Arcstrider, guess what I use? Or excuse me, when I goof around with Arc in general, I use Arcstrider. Because I don't want to run around and hit people with a fucking staff. Because it looks stupid. But it's, you know, it's the thing that kills me the most. I want to share my pain with my opponent. So, you know, Arcstrider will probably get reworked. It's just, you know, the only thing with it is it is powerful. It does get kills. It will kill you. It's just not as powerful as the other 3. But next season, when they sit there and they rework, you know, Arc, it'll be just as powerful. And we'll actually kind of reach a weird point where there is not a weaker class. We're going to have 3 different fucking classes. 4 different classes that are damn near on par with each other. Bungie just hasn't gotten around to one of them, and the other one is, you know, so powerful as it was that they had to nerf it and bring it down, and then they brought the other 2 up. So now they're going to have to slightly and very carefully bring Stasis up to try to get more players, and they might not even do that. Stasis might become this thing where it's like, you know, players who really enjoy Stasis are using it, but nobody else is. So, that's that. It's just, again, this is kind of an event rant video, but if you're a YouTuber and you play Destiny, cool, but don't sit there and tell me fucking Gunslinger or Solar or Void or any of these are the most powerful in the fucking game. Don't sit, when you sit there and act that reactionary and everything, I go and I play the game, and then when it's not nearly as powerful as you made it out to be, which is all the time, a little disappointed. Because then I think, oh, hey, that thing that's difficult that I've, beaten a couple of times or whatever, that I really want to beat just a couple more times again, oh, maybe I might be able to do that by myself this time, or maybe I might be able to do that a lot easier than before, so it's not such a pain in the ass to do it. Then I go in, hop in to do that exact very thing, because that's not the case, because the game is balanced. If you want to talk about things that aren't balanced or that are fucked up, well, how about that recent movement nerf where everything feels just a little weird when you're playing player versus player? You guys want to talk about something overpowered? Well, let's talk about something overpowered then. Yeah, the movement nerf is fucking garbage, and everything in the entire game feels just a little worse than it did before. Stompy's got nerfed, but so did everything else. So yeah, I guess you might as well just use fucking Stompies. Because quite frankly, it, doesn't really matter. It gets to the thing where it's just like every fucking item you do run into that is, unusable for whatever reason. The only reason why it's unusable is Bungie just hasn't gotten around to updating it yet. That's all that is. And it's like, you can see right here in my vault, for example, I have Gemini Jester. There's people that still use that, but, I have it because they might touch it later. I have Frosties because they might touch it later. I have Wormhusk Crown, which actually is still really good. You put that on, you dodge once, gain a small portion of health. You've been in a gunfight with somebody, just hitting circle twice is just enough to give you more health than that person, and you automatically win that gunfight. Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves, boost sidearms. Sidearms kind of need a little help. We've been getting some pretty good sidearms lately, but not that great. Eon Swift. This one is actually bullshit. Or wait, was it? Yeah, it was Eon Swift. Let's see. Actually, let me double check that was Eon Swift. Increases pulse rifles, Eon's inspiration. Oh yeah, it was Eon Swift. You use this in Gambit and, you pull out heavy ammo out of your fucking butthole for your whole team. And then your whole, one of you guys hops over and ruins the other team. People still use it to this day, and it's like, somebody has Eon Swift when somebody runs up to you and whips out Gallahorn and blows you away and blows your entire team away, and they have more than just 2 shots of Gallahorn. They actually have 20 fucking rounds of Gallahorn for some reason. That's how you know somebody's using Eon Swift and Gambit. Raiden Flux, Arc Staff stuff, people still use that when they're using Arc Staff. Lucky Pants. Yeah, Lucky Pants is something that actually I'll use every once in a while. I'll whip it out, especially with 7 Sephiroth. If I'm going to just run around with only 7 Sephiroth, I'll whip out Lucky Pants, make people mad. That one's still fine. Lawrence Driver. Yeah, everybody talks about this. I just, I didn't like it. That's just my personal preference. It's not anything to do with it being bad. It's actually really good. The same thing in the Prospector. Lure of the Wolves, I love it, but I don't. I don't like the way it feels, but I love the way it kills. Trinity Ghoul, opposite problem. You know, don't like the way it kills, but I love the way it feels. Telesto, everybody and their fucking mom and their sister has a Telesto. Sometimes 10 or 20 of them. Hard light, you know, I just never got around to using it. That's all that one is. Borealis is that gun that I have that I could use, that I never do, that somebody else has, that's all they use, and that's all they kill me with. You know, again, sidearms just need a little help. Cryostasia is never gonna, you know, be accepted for what it is, because it needs just a little boost, a little shove in the right direction. Arbalast, I had a little fun for it for a little while. I just gravitate away from fusion rifles. It's, again, comes down to preference. It does work on champions though. And then the Chaperone is that bullshit gun where it's like, what the fuck just hit me? Why does it seem to hit me at any range, no matter what range it is? Yeah, you've probably ran into Chaperone. You know, you think somebody's holding a pistol because it is a real small shotgun. It really is. It's a very small looking shotgun. But if somebody hits you with it, you're gonna feel like somebody hit you with a goddamn rocket launcher. You know, the laminate, I think people use it mostly PV. Salvation's grip needs a shove in the right direction just because it's a stasis weapon. The Queen Breaker, I haven't seen this one in a while. Don't use it. It is good. You know, Gallahorn is self-explanatory. Gallahorn has been what Gallahorn has always been. The only difference is now we have the tools and the ability to deal with people who are using Gallahorn, if we need to. That's the only thing that's changed. It's kind of like how Monster Reborn used to be banned, if you've ever played Yu-Gi-Oh! But nowadays, there's so many other things that are just as good or that could actually stop Monster Reborn, that Monster Reborn is now legal at one copy. Yeah, Gallahorn is basically the Monster Reborn, or the Change of Heart would be the other card that comes to mind, of Destiny 2, or of Destiny in general. I guarantee you we're going to get Gallahorn in Destiny 3 when that comes out. So, I mean, that's that. You know, let's see. Going on this other one. I still have the Rat King. Might have multi-tool, everybody uses that. The Strum, nobody uses it, and side arm. Which is a shame, because in Destiny 1, all I did was use revolvers and sidearms. I hope they give sidearms the little nudge that they need. You know, I've never even heard of... Wait, oh yeah, that's that weapon that I was talking about earlier. I keep forgetting I have that. But, you know, self-explanatory here. Ace of Spades is still a meme cannon in its own right. You know, make people flinch into the fucking world. You know, kill them in an unexpected way really, really fast in a way that pisses them off. You know, get your little reload, bonus, kill more enemies, make them explode, that type of shit. All these weapons are relevant in their own way. This whole crap of needing certain exotics, you know, depending on what you have, you might not even need a fucking exotic. You know, that right there is a loadout I would run. That would be a loadout I would run. You know, this setup here, depending on what mods I put on this armor and everything, And, you know, these weapons with the current perks they have, you know, I could use a revolver at any range, blind somebody if they get too close, or if I just don't want somebody to try to flank me and I know they're there. If they keep hiding in a corner and I don't want to deal with them, then I go grab heavy ammo and blow them up. I could use this in PvE as well, and I would still do okay. I wouldn't take any of the, you know, later game dungeons with this, but, well, if I wanted to take the later game dungeons, all I do is just this and that. You don't need exotics. You don't need to use, you know, solar over void or void over solar or void over stasis. Use the one you're comfortable with. And again, this is really just kind of calling out those fucking YouTubers. Like, you know, something like a Rick Cactus video. He talks about what he thinks is powerful and what he likes, but he's not exclusive. Okay, he'll sit there and it's like, oh, this is powerful. But wait, this is also powerful. And hey, guys, did you know that this was powerful? Okay, something like that's respectable. But then there's these people that are like, oh, most powerful build in the game. And it's like, no, not even. You know, people are like, oh, you have to use this build. No, you don't. You know, if you have to use this build, you wouldn't see other people using the other builds. You know, I'm going to enjoy Solar for what it is, but you're probably going to see me rocking Void. And if they ever do fix Arc, I might give it a shot. You know, only other notes here is don't forget to check your fucking vendor every once in a while. I mean, you got, let's see, what is it? You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vendors here. You have a 6th vendor somewhere else. That same vendor is also over here with different stuff, along with another vendor. It's 7th. I believe you have a vendor here and a weapon crafting system as well. So it's like you got 10 vendors of good shit. You have a vendor on Earth and a vendor, yeah, just on Earth. I don't think there's one on Europa now I think about it. You know, if you need a bunch of weapons, there's a thing, an arena, if you would call it that. You just pop down some special crystals, summon a bunch of monsters, play around for 3 minutes, and get a shit ton of loot. Okay, that's also a really good place. Just remember to go places like Dares of Eternity, Dreaming City, your different vendors at the tower, your different vendors at the helm. You know, play a variety of these, whichever one you like most. You know, for a while it was Crucible, you know, Gambit. Right now it's Dares of Eternity, just for me personally. You know, remember to check Xur in whatever location he is once in a while, especially on the weekends. Don't do it on a Monday, because he's not there on a Monday. He's there pretty much Friday onwards. Friday to Sunday. So just check your shit. Check your shit. Play with what makes you feel comfortable. If you're playing with somebody else, try to find people that are comfortable with a thing that complements you. If you can't, then get more people. Just simple as that. If, you know, if they're playing fucking Arc and you're playing Stasis and your playstyles don't work together, I'm sure you can find a Void Hunter. There's the Destiny app there for fucking reason. You know, every other YouTuber and their fucking mother and their grandmother and their fucking cousins have some kind of fucking Discord server where you can find somebody who will help you with shit. There's guys that play this game just to help other people, which is kind of wholesome. The only unwholesome thing is this, pretty much these asshole YouTubers that give you the wrong idea that you're going to be some invincible, unstoppable killing machine if you use their specific build. And their specific build, by the way, changes pretty much every week. So, you know, if you're going to sit there and follow their road of bullshit and overreactionary nonsense, good luck with that, because you're probably going to need to spend a lot of money and a lot of time and all of that on the game. Which I don't know about you, but I work this thing called a job. And I don't always have time for, you know, to spend all of my energy on another game. Plus, the other things, I don't want to just play Destiny 2 and only Destiny 2. You know, I want to play other games too. So actually, why I have, like, let's see, 6, 7 consoles. You know, going from a Nintendo, or excuse me, actually, I'm looking at a Sega Genesis right now. What the fuck am I talking about? Going from really old stuff to all the way up to PS4. I do have a gaming PC that I never use, so not really fair to count that one. So, you know, use the shit that you feel comfortable with. If you get lucky and find something that's good, and you find a build that works with that, use that. Just use what you want to use. Use what you have. You don't have to sit there and use these fucking YouTubers' bullshit that they change every once in, well, every week, really. Some of these guys, they sit there and they be like, guys, I just found a new video. I've done all my editing, blah, blah, blah. I know I said I found this, you know, build 3 days ago, but this build is more powerful than that build, especially with this new weapon that just came out yesterday. And you'll get the other YouTuber that, like, has to reply, actually, you know, just some fucking fat neckbeard told YouTuber, actually, if you use this weapon instead, you can use this build. It gets ridiculous. Then you'll have, like, you know, some other YouTuber, he'll, like, fucking reply to the guy who's replied to that, you know, well, I'll have you know, he was actually right, but I have a more powerful build, and my powerful build uses a newer weapon. Or, you know, you'll have my favorite type of YouTuber, where, like, hey guys, guess what? Your builds are all really powerful, but you can use this weapon from fucking 10 years ago that you probably don't still have, because you probably dismantled it, because Destiny probably took it away from you or told you you can't have it anymore. So, guess what, guys? Try using that weapon. Oh gee, let me just dig through my vaults that I regularly clean out, because, you know, I also regularly clean my room, because I'm not a fucking hoarder, and I don't hang on to useless trash. You know, it's different when you have a rare exotic that takes like hours to get, or you get the opportunity to get something ridiculous, or maybe it's something like the metal mantle that's, you know, once in a blue moon you're only able to get it and keep in your vault. You don't need 40 fucking copies of Fatebringer. You don't need 90 fucking copies of this other weapon. So yeah, I actually cleaned my shit out and only have 1 copy. Or, you know, maybe Destiny, because here's the thing, if Destiny brings that back, then I could probably get it back. Like, if Destiny brings back, where is it? Destiny brings back fucking, I think it was called Mountaintop. Or Komodo. Where is Mountaintop, actually? Yeah, there it is, right there. Destiny brings back fucking Mountaintop and allows us to use it in everything again. Then I'll just go and get Mountaintop. Some vendor somewhere will sell it at some point. You know, any of the vaulted weapons that happen, that I got rid of, that I already had maxed out and everything, I'm going to use those materials for my weapons I can currently use. Not your stupid bullshit from 10 fucking years ago. Then the other thing too is, and they'll be like, Hi guys, guess what? You can use this weapon from way, way back when. And it's like, okay. Yeah, I can use Fatebringer from like fucking 10 years ago. Not the time lost version, but like the older version. You know, that was like from a million years ago. I actually had one. Like from when Destiny first came out. You know, I had it and I just I dismantled the shit out of it and used it for an assault rifle that nobody cared about. It's an assault rifle, by the way, that you can literally buy from a vendor. It's the Earth vendor too. Every time you get it, it will be like 500 light, and you guys sit there and upgrade it to make it even relevant. Yeah, I had Fatebringer, and I dismounted it for that piece of shit. Okay. Uh, you know, they'll be like, yeah, you could use the original Fatebringer. It's like, yeah, or I could just use 7 Sephiroth, or the new Fatebringer, or a bottom dollar, or, what's another revolver? There's, you know, I can use Ace of Spades. That's another one that fucking does near the same thing. I can use the Hawk Moon. You know, some of those are exotic, sure. Fair enough. There's another revolver, too. There's like 2 or 3 other revolvers that I could use that all basically do the same concept. They might not do the same exact thing, but they're used in the exact same way as any of them. Yeah, I know. I need to turn back, but I'm not going to. Yeah, so it's just stupid crap. The YouTuber that I do actually like are the guys who are like, hey, you can, you know, and it's usually like Rick Cactus. We're like, hey, by the way, you can literally buy this right now for low cost. You know, you can fucking find Telesto and build this right now. Okay, shit like that is actually useful. Shit like that is actually helpful. Everybody that's going to watch your videos that's looking for a build hasn't picked up Destiny in like a couple of weeks and just wants to find out what's going on real quick. Okay? They want to see if there's something new and cool. That's why Rick Cactus has so many followers. That's why damn near every Destiny player who's not new watches Rick Cactus. That's why new Destiny players who are trying to learn the game end up watching Rick Cactus and end up doing well. Is because he'll sit there and he'll be like, hey, you can get this right now, you know, for very little effort and at least be competitive with people. You know, Zer's in this location and this is where you buy this item. Or, hey, did you know that there was this item? Or, hey, you know, this one item that you probably have in your vault or you might have on your personal character or whatever is fucking available. You know, like it got buffed recently. Or, hey, you know, this item that you have right now got nerfed, so you should probably use this other item instead. And he's got like a video of these. He's got like 2 a week. You know, you get one for Zer's location, and you get one that's just kind of like a general idea. And then he'll do his like really crazy builds that he likes to do, where, oh, you know, he calls them like, don't use this weapon, or don't tell anybody about this weapon type builds. Those are a little more reactionary. But then he has so many of them, and he explains how they work, and he doesn't just make it like, oh, hey, you know, only this works, only that works. No, he'll sit there near the end of the video and be like, you can use this or that, or you can do it this other way. You know, there's 3 ways to use this one thing in a way that's really, really powerful. Okay, that kind of content is a lot less reactionary, a lot less shitty, and is a lot more useful. I kind of wish other YouTubers who constantly cover Destiny actually strive to be helpful. You know, don't just sit there and open your fucking wallets and open your mouth, let a bunch of shit come flying out, and expect to get paid a bunch of shit. because you're not really helping anybody. Yeah, you get your fucking view counter up real high, but, you know, a lot of those players that play your, you know, watch your shit, try your shit out, play with it, and realize it's not nearly as ultra super secret special awesome amazing, and 10 points if you get that reference. You know, it's not ultra super special secret awesome amazing as you make it seem. You know, those people are going to watch your video, they're going to be disappointed, and then they're never going to watch your fucking channel again. And if they're subscribed to you and they run into that and they keep running into that, guess what? They're going to unsubscribe. That's where your unsubscribers are coming from. You know, they just get tired and fed up of your crap. You know, you might get a winger build where it is as amazing as you say, and every once in a blue moon, but most of the time, no, it's just going to be the same crap. And here's the other thing, even if you do have that once in a blue moon build, what's going to happen is somebody's going to come along with a, you know, equally powerful build, and that viewer that you had is going to feel fucking stupid for even fucking listening to you. Let's see.